Hi, I'm Terra Gold. You're joining me at home. At home refers to being at home within oneself, within the world, and at home with spirit. This podcast is raw and it's real. It's sometimes panel style, and it's always shared in a conversational style. Join me here for holistic lifestyle tips that really make a difference with scholars, medical professionals, scientists, cultural creatives, and artists that share through their lens. What all these conversations have in common is that we're all dedicated to empowering and inspiring each other to cultivate inner wisdom and also to share it. Welcome home. We were right home from the start. Hi. I got your eyes. This man wears glasses so much of the time that I always like, I feel special when I see your eyes.
Just because you've known me too long, and you want to see my eyes.
It's true. And when I knew you when we were like 14, you couldn't wear glasses just because I got to see your eyes all the time. But now you're the big boss.
No, I'm like not a boss at all. I'm just a worker.
No.
I'm the servant to the people.
No, you are the Doog Walker.
Yeah.
I guess you're servant to the dogs.
To the community.
To the community, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I actually kind of want to talk to you about that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you. But I also want to talk to you because I have a sense of your spirit. Mm-hmm. And having known you when I was so young, and then reconnecting like we have,
right?
It's extra special for me.
it's amazing.
I know. We had a moment earlier, and I went, whoa, given my age, I haven't seen you in 34 years. That's crazy.
But I feel like I've seen you every day.
Because of Instagram?
No.
What? How?
Just because we're kids together, so.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a forever connection.
Yeah, it is.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's not a forced thing.
Right. And, Yeah, and so when when I first met you, you had a different name back then. Can I say it?
Zaire.
Zaire? I love that name. And then you also have a really cool name now.
Well, that's my grandfather's name, but he couldn't name himself that when he came here, so I do it in honor of him.
And where'd he come from?
From Poland, from like the Holocaust situation.
So Doogie is your grandfather?
Benjamin Doogie.
Oh, nice.
So he changed his name to the most British sounding name you can find.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm in the middle of Marin County where there's a whole different slew of aromas for my nose. So
it can be intoxicating
if
you're not used to it.
My sinuses are going, where am I?
You're so funny. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I am.
But how are you? You're just wheezing and sneezing and.
Yeah, we're good.
But you look great.
Thank you. You too. I think we're aging well. Yeah?
Just aging is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's very fortunate to be able to age.
It is.
To be alive.
Truly a gift.
It's truly a gift.
Every day. And so Doogie Goldstein, where's the Goldstein come from?
That's my grandfather's name before he moved to New York. So my grandparents met in England. Mm-hmm. They were both escaping something. Mm-hmm. My grandmother was very dark. And in Jamaica, the black people were racist to each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Dark skin, light skin.
Light skin, yeah.
It's that whole thing. Mm-hmm. So, she couldn't get a proper job based on her education level.
In Jamaica or
in
here?
Jamaica.
Okay.
So she was in Liverpool, England. Mm-hmm. And my grandfather was escaping this whole historical Holocaust stuff. And they met. Mm-hmm. And they made my father.
Amazing.
And they moved to the Lower East Side.
And you grew
in
up...
New York.
Were you there ever when you were young?
Oh, I spent my summers there.
Okay.
Because they moved to Tribeca. So I spent my summers there. But my mother's from here.
And that's why I met you here in Marin County, California.
That's right.
Okay.
My mother's from here.
So you've really made a name for yourself. I know you have because I've seen it, but not just that. I know other people that know you that have stayed in touch. Mm-hmm. And when we drive down the street, everybody knew you the moment I'm driving down there. So.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's a small community too.
It's a small town.
Yes. But I have a feeling you made a mark like that in New York too. That's my guess. And
it's a small town too.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, well, it's neighborhoods.
Right.
So when you leave your neighborhood, like if you're in like Brooklyn, you stay in like South Brooklyn, you're in Tribeca, you stay in Tribeca. So it's like people think like they create towns in Manhattan or in the city. If you're in Harlem, you stay in Harlem. Like 3 blocks. That's your thing.
So I've known you since I met you and then reconnected, I've known you to basically reinvent a lot in your life. And can we talk about that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when I knew you though, you were definitely into sports and you were being a kid. And then I did not even know till we reconnected where your path took you, which is pretty amazing.
Thank you.
That you got really deep into the music scene.
Really deep into it.
Super, right? Like really in it.
With all the snakes and the jerks, man. I mean, it was a horrible, horrible, and beautiful experience.
And you were in Marin City, and you were who are some of the people you were hanging out with?
Well, I moved out of here when I was a kid, shortly after I met you, and bought my first house when I was 19 in Peacock Gap in Zaire. And
how'd you buy your first house at 19?
I had a gold record.
At 19.
Changed my life.
Jeez.
Things changed. Had some cash flow.
What was the name of the album?
I put out a lot of records. Put over 100 albums.
Seriously? 100?
Independent records. As great as the music business is, it's just as sleazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And challenging and difficult. And I'm glad to be walking my sins off, being the Doog Walker.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of friends to the music industry, like Tupac, like Mac Dre.
Yeah.
And
you were spending a lot of time with them even back then, when you were 19.
Absolutely. Before that.
Wow.
Before that.
Did you grow up with them?
Before you ever heard of Tupac, I was working with him.
Wow.
So it's a hurtful recollection, although it's given me some very luxurious opportunities, that are good and bad.
Yeah, like having that much wealth so young from being creative is amazing, right? If you can do something you're loving and make that much, it's pretty amazing. At the same time, most people I meet at 19 don't have the certain wisdoms in place yet to have that much freedom or that much wealth right away. That's just what I've seen. I mean, do you think it caused a lot of debauchery, some extra pain?
I think just surviving it is just amazing.
Yeah.
Just surviving is like, wow, I survived that. There were time periods where I couldn't go outside without spending $20,000. And just to survive that kind of madness and come back to your senses.
Yeah. So that was just a thing, like just
whatever.
20 grand.
Just
create an instant party.
Not really, because I had a family. I had children. I got married at 18. So
wow.
I got married in Costa Rica. So I had a wife. She's from Marin. I do have a type.
So that's how we started talking.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I love what I love.
So you met and you got married, and I know you have 3 daughters.
Right.
Amazing daughters.
Yeah, I do. So I always had responsibility. I always had like a yard life and a home life. It sounds much wilder than what it is, but I was more on the executive side of things. So I always went home. I was like in the music industry. It's like they use people like me to be the face of telling let's say urban artists what to do. However, there's a whole other machine in back of you, right? And
can you give me an example of how that goes, or how it went back then?
Well, music is made by committee.
Yeah.
So there's always some 80-year-old person that's approving or disapproving of what us
Is
peasants.
Clive Davis involved?
No.
But there's some people that.
But people like
they've got digits in mind, more than the aesthetic in some cases.
They have an agenda in mind.
Yeah.
Right. And they want it to stay consistent. And anything that disrupts that is exactly that is disruptive. You know, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, I definitely, you know, I put out a lot of records as an executive. Lived a lot of places. Music allowed me to travel a lot. I lived in New Zealand. My daughter was born there in Auckland. I worked with the All Blacks, the rugby team in Auckland. That was the thing. That was a paycheck. I was like the minister of music for a while. You know, I lived right in back of the University of Auckland on the hill behind it. Like law. Like I lived in Paris, lived in Ghana, did a lot of music stuff in Nigeria. So it's allowed me to see the world, you know.
That's a gift.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
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 So you must have met amazing people, really creative, different people.
You know, the most amazing people that I hung out with they were all in like North Hollywood. Like they were just like budding actors and actresses, and just like super interesting people in North Hollywood. I was there because my daughter was a dancer, or is a dancer. So I was, you know, that's where I think I met the most interesting people.
And didn't you say she was 12 when she started dancing with Beyonce?
Well, it was a build up. It was a long build up for her to get to that point. A lot of conventions, a lot of things that I thought were pointless. That I didn't get the big picture. But I just wanted to support her. I didn't want her to go to Hollywood at 40 years old and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this thing." I wanted her to get it out of her system at a young age, you know.
She didn't, did she?
I just wanted to support her through it.
She's still dancing. She's still sort of in it.
But it's changed. It's going from dancing to film school at UCLA. You know, it's evolved itself. So I just wanted her to, you know, to reach her dream. Like we all have dreams, man. I wanted her to reach her dreams and to discover her dreams, and then to reach the now what point. Because once you reach your dream, it's like pause. Now what? Next thing, you know.
What caused you to get into deciding to do the dog walking, the Doog walking, not even dog walking, Doog walking?
Because I couldn't find a good dog walker. Really? No. That's why I started a hair salon in Dallas. I couldn't find a good place to get a haircut. Like businesses that inspire me are businesses that I have experience not liking an experience. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same reason I do music. Like, I can't find music that sounds a certain way. So then I have to create it myself. It's the same thing with Doog Walker. I couldn't find, like, I'm like, why are these dog walkers so trashy and so negative and so just not, like, you're working with dogs. How artistic and beautiful is that? Like, you should be the coolest person I know, man. You work with dogs. You should be the flyest. You should have the flyest car. You should have the flyest personality, the flyest energy. You should be amazing. And they never were. They were always bitter Susies. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah, just sour.
Sour.
Yeah.
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 Sour.
Which is so. You're right. It's weird because dogs are so amazing. You know, they got so much going on that.
You get to make money with dogs? Come on, that's brilliant. You know? And I created the Doog Walker, like the leash brand, and the collars and all that stuff. But I didn't have enough street credibility because I needed to actually have like pictures with dogs. Now I don't even promote my brand. It's just in stores, and now customers come wearing the collars. And I'm like, that's amazing.
Nice.
It only took 20 years. Well, that's my brother.
Hey, we're getting visitors at the same time. Nice to meet you.
Oh yeah.
So we're recording right now. So where can people find this right now? The collars. So what are they? Are they Doog Walker collars?
And leashes.
And leashes. And you just look them up.
Well, they're at the stores, like all the fancy little dog stores.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Petco?
No, that's not fancy.
More boutique.
Boutique.
Okay.
I'm a boutique guy.
Yeah, I noticed because you've got like great leather. You always have like the really good leather shoes, the Italian leather shoes. You know.
I'm small time.
You got the hip clothes.
I'm small time. I like it small and amazing.
But high quality.
Yes.
Always high quality.
Well, you know, you buy the right clothes, so you ain't got to buy a lot of them.
That's right. That's true. And you make a statement. It's
yeah,
simple.
it just, I mean, I got these in Lake Como 25 years ago.
And they still look great.
Well, I can still wear them.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, thank you. You look great.
Thank you.
I was always so intimidated by you.
Why?
Because you're too pretty.
Thank you.
I'm talking about.
I remember you said when we first saw each other today too. You said there was something with me. I don't know. Threw you off. It wasn't just that. There was something else. Like I was different. Like
You're on another level.
Oh, that's what you said.
Because you were like in 1989. You were like doing like these resorts, these retreats. Things that I didn't really understand. You know, I wasn't that worldly back then. So it was very intimidating.
Yeah.
But exciting though.
Yeah, it's true. I was like flying off to Hawaii.
You were doing stuff.
Yeah, and
like Kama Sutra stuff almost.
Yeah,
like.
actually.
Yeah. I remember a lot of stuff.
I don't believe how you remember that. So
I remember that.
Yeah, because I got introduced to the Tantra people.
It was Tantra.
Yes.
That was just so intimidating because I didn't know how to keep up with that. You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
Well, I had to grow up. You were advanced. You were too much.
And before I ever went there, I was going to a place in Colorado. My parents sent me away to these people called the Alive Tribe. Yeah. And these people had me like pounding pillows, expressing and releasing like anything that's held from my lineage. I was doing that at 12 years old, like trying to get it out. I remember at a certain point there's all these old people. And like they have so much material. I don't have enough yet. Like I'm 12. You know?
But you had the exposure.
Yeah,
see, my kids grew up like you.
Yeah?
They grew up deep. They grew up, you know.
It sounds like it.
They grew up, I grew up real simple and, what you want to say? The heaviest thing I did was go to Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm. But that's a big deal. Wow. It's a beautiful, totally different culture. And, I mean, me too. I went there when I was 9 and kept going. And it's really a meaningful place to me for that reason. And the music, come on. Some of the best music, I think, on the planet has come out of Jamaica.
Yeah, it was good music and stuff. But it was, when you go with family, you know, it's different. Because you're just doing auntie and uncle stuff.
Unless you go hang with the Rastas. I don't know.
Well, that's your family.
Was that your family?
Yeah.
And are they didn't want to share much information there about...
They was just being uncles and aunts.
Okay.
Some were friendly and some weren't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like the movies. Or a resort. It's like, no, we're going to this tin house.
Yeah.
For a week.
I've got friends there that live like in a tin house kind of situation.
Yeah, we're going to eat that chicken that's walking around out there.
Yeah.
We're going to eat that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I couldn't wait to get back to New York City.
Get some pizza.
You know. Everything's romantic before you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or you can make anything mundane romantic.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know.
Personally, that's how I like to do it.
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, make it special.
You're right.
Make it special.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Anything.
That's how I feel about Marin City. I make it romantic. Because if you don't, you'll crack up. You know?
Crack up what way?
Because it's just Groundhog's Day every day. Right?
You're talking about chaos? Just crazy?
No chaos.
Then what do you mean?
Not chaotic. Look how quiet it is here.
Oh, you're saying same. Groundhog Day every day.
Just the same people. I know what time this neighbor's driving past. I know every... So I just make it this romantic, almost like mysterious fantasy. And I bring these exotic dogs here. You know what I'm saying? And we start these businesses, little small boutique stuff. Like he's booming with the Berry White Holland.
Sweet.
Right, and we start these little things here. We just make it what.
So this is your brother, yeah?
Yeah.
BayAreaWildHolling.com company.
Right.
Then you've got your wife, who's an amazing artist.
Right.
And she's helping. You guys are designing these Italian sneakers.
And we're selling a lot of other sneakers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff going on.
We're just creating small stuff.
But what I love is that you're entrepreneurs. You're totally creative. You are all about community. I mean, what's wrong with any of that? That's
all
all
about
the
love,
stuff.
man. Because I used to be about money, and that's not a good space to be in.
I hear you.
Trust me.
I hear you.
Like, I've given away more money than most people will ever make, and I'm happy to be where I'm at right now.
Feels better.
I can just live with myself better. I used to just be not a good person. You know? You know?
Is there anything you
living
can
in
say
like
that?
4 states, living in Hollywood, living in New York, living in LA, living here, you know, buying whatever I wanted, not being faithful to my woman, just being just not a good person. And thankfully, I survived that. A lot of folks didn't.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of folks didn't survive that, and a lot of folks didn't survive in their right mind. And then a lot of folks didn't get to this point.
Yeah.
They just didn't make it.
Yeah. I think about what you're just saying, and I'm aware still how, you know, people get afraid they're not going to have enough, and the emphasis can be so much on make money, right? But I have to say that personally, every time I connect to the values that are more in my heart, abundance comes. It also follows. And I don't know, I mean, like, I love doing the podcast. I love sharing stories with people, and I love...
Yeah, you're awesome at that.
Thank you very much. But also, but what I'm saying is, like, it's worth sticking to the things that really, that are joyful, that bring joy to the planet and to people.
I totally agree.
And if that's sort of your foundation, and you dedicate yourself strong to learning business skills, because you don't just go off faith, you also learn the skills.
Well, I think you're always learning skills. I think you're always learning. I think you learn from failing. You know, it's just like with the Doog Walker, like it was a failure first. Everything's a failure first, and then it becomes like this seasoned thing, but like you miss the learning curve, right? But when it's polished, it's like this, it's like this it's like art, right? It's like, okay, I've spent the last 6 years learning the art business, but now I'm starting to know how to capitalize off of it and how to make it a thing. But you spend the first few years just getting beat up.
Yeah.
Just whooped.
What can you talk about that with the Doog Walker? Like, what you said you failed at first. Like, what failed? Because you seem like you have a really good thing going now, and you've got all these vehicles and a lot of dogs that you're working with.
It failed because I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
I mean,
you had an idea.
Yeah, I had an idea.
Yeah.
But you gotta fail a lot, and you gotta learn your space in your lane, and where to. You learn your strengths and you learn your weaknesses. You learn what dogs you can deal with and what dogs you can't. You learn that all money is not good money. You learn, just like anything else, you learn about people. You learn that it's not about the dog, really, it's about the human being that's paying you. Because for every dog, there's at least 2 people. So, and then you learn what to charge. You learn that you're really not even walking dogs, that you're really a trainer. You learn that all your life skills and your parenting skills and your, equestrian skills, that like you're actually like really valuable, and that you're actually, you learn how to respectfully take care of yourself.
I come from a real spiritual family, and you kind of know that. And I remember being little, even saying like, "Well, Grandma, like, do you really believe in angels?" And I have this thing with dogs where I think of them like they're angels because they do so much to help people. You know, like they help people more than people help people.
Yeah.
You know, they're something about dogs is so consistently loving no matter what. Incredibly, usually, I mean, the ones I know. What you tell me? Are there? I mean, a lot of the time, unless they've been abused, right? They're gonna definitely reflect what's going on.
Dogs are amazing. I think that people romanticize the business of it, and they just see you walking a dog, but they don't really see like the advertising. They don't see like the human part of it. You know what I'm saying? They don't see like that you walk 60 dogs a day. Okay, so that means you're driving 12 hours a day. That means you're spending $2,000 a week on gas.
Wow.
Like, that's reality. Like, that's big in the business of it. Like,
yeah.
versus like just, everyone thinks their dog's the best. Just like everyone thinks their kid's the best.
Right.
Right. But we went to private school together. So my business is like a private school.
How so?
I'm the headmaster.
You're what?
I'm the headmaster.
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 Okay.
I'm Bruce. Remember Bruce?
No, but you have an amazing memory, so I'm not surprised. I mean, every little thing. You're like,
You tickle me.
You're like, I remember this. And I'm like, remember that teacher? I'm like, no.
Yeah, well, you made an impression on me.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
I mean, and we didn't even talk about that we shared being in a gnarly earthquake together, standing in there.
We were at the corner. Remember, we were by the town center in 1989. We were in somebody, because I used to have the seniors drive me around. Remember that? I used to have all the older kids drive me around because I couldn't drive.
Yes.
What's his name?
I don't know. You always had good friends that were older.
I always had good friends.
Like the seniors were your friends.
A lot of seniors, yeah.
Well, juniors and seniors, yeah.
Mostly seniors.
Yes, I saw that. Luke?
No, it was but Luke's friend.
Okay. I don't remember. What I do know is that we were there at Mount Tam High School, and the ground starts cracking.
Literally.
And the big clock is cracking.
Literally.
I know. And all I could think was, is this the moment? Like, what is happening? and you and I were like looking at each other. Like,
yeah.
What?
No, for real.
That definitely bonds you. That's memorable.
That's memorable.
Yes.
I tell this story all the time.
You do?
I do. Everyone already knows you. So I'm like, man, the great earthquake, we was together. Me and Terra Gold.
But look what it did. It brought us back together even now.
Forever.
Isn't that amazing? I love that what is yours always comes back to you. Like the people that are your connections and the people, they will always come back. And you don't have to look for it. You don't have to seek it even. It happens.
Right.
It's pretty special that way.
Life is pretty special when you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. What does that mean to you though, doing the right thing? Like how do you even gauge if you're doing the right thing?
Don't break the law.
Yeah, that helps. I've learned that.
No, for real. Don't break the law.
Yeah.
Being a decent person, because you go through so much in life and then you reach a point where you're like, man, I just want to be a decent person.
Yeah. It's simple sometimes. It's like,
it's so simple.
Be kind.
That's it.
Like just show mutual respect.
Well,
thoughtfulness.
Yeah, exactly. And you realize that so many people didn't make it this far. So you analyze what they did wrong.
And you don't just like ignore them. You also give them a hand. Try and understand, try and help.
Well, you got to try and understand, how folks didn't survive. Because I know a lot of folks that died young.
You did. A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Can you talk about it?
Well, I mean, just for an example, like a Tupac. I mean, he didn't live past 25.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't a fan of his. I was a friend of his.
Right.
Totally different relationship.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
And I had no idea you even knew him. I didn't even know I had one step close to him. But when he died, that was a huge, impactful thing. Huge.
It was huge for everybody. Yeah. But you don't even realize, how precious life is and how quickly it can go. I mean, this guy, he has Tupac platinum plaques and all kinds of stuff. He was involved in it too. Like
your
you
brother?
just. Yeah, right. You just don't really realize. You realize okay, I made it to 30. Can't believe it.
That's really what it was like. Wow, we made it to 30. Wow, did you even think we'd get this far?
I still had this house. I still had these cars. I still got some money coming in. I'm at 30. I got kids. Then you're like, I made it to 40. Oh my God.
Yeah. We're not at 50, but we're getting there.
Right. So I'm already preparing and thinking, oh my God, right now.
Yeah, and then due to epigenetics, we're being told now that it's really normal to live past 100. So if that's the case, we have a lot of work to do to make sure our bodies can even take that and stand it and get through that in a good way.
Right.
I mean, that's what I think about a lot these days.
Yeah.
And that's where I put my focus is not just for myself, but for other people. Like, what are the key ingredients that help us all live well? Like, truly well. Embodied, joyful, kind.
I think being good to each other.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole purpose. I think God created Earth just to be a big ass garden, right? That was his whole vision, right? Just have a garden. Then he created people to tend to the garden, right? Right?
That's what it said in the
Yeah, that's what it said. So I think that whether or not you're religious or not religious, I think there's values in all of that stuff, and just loving,
certainly honoring this great planet,
honoring the people, honoring the animals.
Yeah.
Just being a decent person, which is, it's easy to say, but get on the freeway and you go spot people who aren't really that decent.
Oh, I know.
They're not nice.
Yeah.
They're not nice people.
No.
And there's a lot of sore winners out there. Like you say, sore loser. There's a lot of people that's winning. They're not happy about it.
Well, what is that? You think they have an upper limit to having positive
I think they take it for granted how blessed they are. They take it for granted.
Like it's hardened to them on the way to getting there, so they've lost their empathy or compassion for other
people. I think they've compromised so much just to get there.
Yes. Compromise their values, their
everything.
Okay.
And they're not who they project that they are.
Yeah.
So it's good to be at a space where you can be transparent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Very. I so agree with that. Like people that are living in a way where they're blocking off this person from that person talking, or trying not to, like they're keeping so many secrets.
So many secrets.
Yeah. It's just not a way to live.
I mean, you know, it's I think you should just be. Well, first of all, I don't think I have the formula to what everyone else should do. I don't think that.
I mean, for me, it's not a way to live.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think I can just say, oh, you should live this kind of way, or because it all makes the world go around.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Good and bad. But I just know for myself, I'm just trying to be a better person.
Nice.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes I sound like an idiot, because I may say, no, I was so in love with you, I was so intimidated by you, right? But that's the honest truth, and I'll tell my wife that.
Yep. But
Like,
I got to meet her and smile, and she got smiling at me.
And there's
awesome.
no game involved, just Doog involved. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm trying to say is just
I'll
like
put it in there. Like
what I'm saying is whatever you say is just say it like it is. Just say it like it is.
Just be real, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And because that can take you a long ways.
Yes, it can. It frees people up. It frees me up so much. Like if I just held that in, that material, you know, I don't know, it just blocks everything.
Right.
But if you let it be free, you know, and open and honest, it frees up a lot of things in life.
Right.
You know, it frees up a lot of thoughts and just your body, and you know, hopefully you're more attuned in every way.
Yeah. Exactly. And then you can go a long ways just off being an honest, loving person, you know, because these days it's hard to find just like decent workers, reliable people, like all of that. What's the word? There's a word for that. What's that Americana stuff? What's that?
The American dream, or pride, or
no. It's like a cotillion kind of word. Just the day of just being hard worker.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And getting the job done.
Mm-hmm.
Being clean cut and working hard.
Okay. All American.
All American. That's one way to say it.
Okay. Unless you're in another country.
Well,
I just came back from being in Italy, so I'm like, I wouldn't say it there.
well, but the whole world's chasing that American dream. The whole world's chasing that.
That's true, actually.
The whole world is chasing that.
That's true.
They come in here from all over the world to chasing that, and we take it for granted because we have it so easy here, and we forget how special and fortunate we are to be here. You know. So I lived in Paris for almost 2 years, but I tell you what, it was nice coming back to America.
Why?
It was nice being in Paris too.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe. It was great.
Yeah.
But it was just nice coming back. You know, because you got to appreciate what you didn't appreciate by being here. Then you got to go on a long visit somewhere to really appreciate all of this that we take for granted.
Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people I know, myself included. Like you go far from home, so you can really appreciate your home.
Right.
And that's a good thing too.
That's a great thing.
It's It's important. It's part of even the hero's journey, like in mythology, and that's part of the archetype of being a human being.
Right.
You know, that you got to go through those kind of cycles and learn and grow from it.
Right. You got to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the whole. I don't look at the Bible as like a religious book. I look at it as just a book of just different stories, like with Abraham and Moses. Like God forced them to go on adventures, right? To get out of their comfort zone. You know what I mean? And to really like experience something different. And it, you know, like with the story, what was it, Abraham? What was it? It took him 20 years to forget who he used to be in his comfort zone, just to become somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Took him a long time to get out of what he used to be, and then become somebody else. And that's a reality of, like, you know, when people associate you with, like, let's say music, right? It takes a long time to retrain yourself.
Yeah.
To be somebody else. Something different.
There's something in common between what you shared about music. I mean, my experience in music, because as you know, I also did music, and I still do. So I love it forever.
Right.
You know.
Do it for fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not to make a living, but just for the love.
Right.
And but whether it's music or dog walking, you have to attune yourself to something going on that is not just the physicality of what you're about in that moment. Like you're really tuning into something to be able to sense how to work with these dogs and train these dogs. You know, you're attuning to something to make this music have a certain frequency and experience for yourself and other people.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, that's tapping into the power of the universe in a pretty amazing way, no matter what version it's taking.
I think it's surrendering to what you're supposed to be doing.
So you felt called to it, and you surrendered to that?
You surrender to it. Because you're not really training the dog's really training you.
They're training you.
Yeah.
If you pay attention. Yeah.
You got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Because I'm working with a lot of dogs at the same time. You know? Because I'm not against money.
Sure.
You know? I just, so in order, you know, like, it's like when the music industry is like, doing it for fun is one thing. Doing it to pay your mortgage and pay for your kids' private school and all of their stuff.
It has to happen.
That's a whole different understanding of the music industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's not for fun.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
It's for the mortgage.
Sure.
It's for life. It's for, you know, expenses. And you create this lifestyle, and you spoil the people you love, and then you can find yourself almost compromised.
Almost? Truly, yeah.
Truly, yeah. Truly.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, you said spoiled. You could have said any word, but you said spoiled. Like, well, how did it spoil them? It sounds like you gave your girls a good good support.
I spoiled them.
Too much? You're saying too much.
Spoiled them.
Yeah. So too much. And what do you think the downside of that was?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I just know I spoiled them. I just know I wanted them to have a wonderful experience. You know, like when you're a young parent.
I will say one thing. I'm going to interrupt if you don't mind. Because I hear you. You spoiled them. You also made sure that they can figure out what their dreams are. It sounds like from what you've shared with me. And I'm just thinking when you say that's, I don't know, some of the greatest gifts, well, not the spoiling. I don't know what the spoiling means. But I'm just thinking that you tried to see where the need was. And you tried to provide as much as you could. My sense is that might have been coming from some love.
It's funny. It's what I call spoiling is just what I just did naturally. I look back, I'm like, I spoiled them. But reality is that's just I don't know any other way to do things. If I love you, I love you.
So you love big.
And I love hard.
Yeah.
And I want you to have the best experience. And I really take it serious. And sometimes, when you're an immature parent, you think throwing money at the situation is how you do things. But then you become older and you learn that it's about your time.
I gotta say, my son is only 10.
Your time.
And I have been looking at how that is more important than anything.
That's more important than anything.
Yeah.
And you realize that the money can come and go.
Yeah.
The time is forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So true.
What's up, neighbor? How are you?
And a dog.
Yeah, it's a neighbor. Yeah.
Is there anything you haven't said that you think would be worth saying or sharing with people if they're hearing this?
Just God bless you, man. And hey, man. Chase your dreams, you know? Chase your dreams and catch them and then move on. And that's how we keep evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Dream catcher.
But, yeah.
Dream catcher.
Dream catch. Keep dream catching.
Dream catcher. That's how we graduate. We catch that dream and we go on to the next one. You know?
Nice.
You know? It's a little weird when you reach all your goals at a young age. Because then it's like, now what?
Mm-hmm.
That's a real crisis.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the problem comes in. So then you have to submit to another industry of some sort and put yourself out there to learn some new skills, to meet some new types of people, and to, re-educate yourself, which means a lot of listening, not a lot of talking.
So it's humbling.
Yeah, it's humbling.
Mm-hmm.
It's humbling.
I find life more and more humbling. My son said to me, like, you talk like you know everything. And I laughed at him, or laughed with him. And I said, I don't think I know very much. In fact, the older I get, I feel like I know a lot less.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the way to learn is to get real humble. Get more and more humble. And just, like, stay open and listen more.
Right.
So I appreciate that you said that. Because I find that for myself as well.
Yeah, no, it's life will, either you can humble yourself or it will humble you.
For sure.
I mean, it's best. Like I tell my brother, I say, man, I always pray to God that, listen, let me walk to you, not crawl to you. So what I mean by that is, let me get myself together and not have to be broken down to the least common denominator, right? And crawl, begging God to help me. Let me just be able to walk like a man on 2 feet and do what's right. That was always my prayer. I don't know why. It's the weirdest prayer for a young guy.
It started young, that
Yep.
prayer?
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
I just wanted to be able to ask God, let me walk to you, not crawl to you. Because you see a lot of folks, they don't even make it to crawl. Look at what Houston just did. Look at all these people. They're not even crawling. They did. So I was glad I was able to walk to God and not crawl. Crawl is a desperation thing. Crawl is when you've just been broken down. Right? So you're not even necessarily making those decisions based on it's the right decision. You're making those decisions based on you have no other option.
When you're crawling.
When you're crawling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Doog Walker.
Doog walking. Even better. I don't just walk, I do walk. And you could do walk too. With me.
Walking my sins off. Because trust me, I had a lot of fun. And I don't deserve to be this fortunate. Trust me. I don't deserve it.
Well, thanks for having a moment.
For real.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having a moment and just caring enough about me to come talk to me.
Are you kidding? I've been looking forward to this. I have.
Hope I don't let you down.
No, not at all. It's special to me. Thank you.
It's everything. And I love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Hey friend, thank you for meeting with me and my guests. Go to terrawellness.com to join my newsletter and find out what else I'm offering. Please like and follow this podcast. Check out the Terra Gold Wellness video version on YouTube and follow me at Terra Gold Wellness on Instagram and TikTok. Let's keep meeting at home. Home is where